Thank you. Hello, prepaid legal business owners. All right. Just a quick outline of what I'm going to try to cover today in this 20 minutes. I'm going to start out with some written comments. I just kind of threw those in here just in the last day. I wasn't planning on doing this, but I think they need to be said. And then get into a presentation, a short PowerPoint presentation, and if you'll let me, I'll finish up by just kind of being a little tough on you and being a little real with you, if that's okay. All right? It's my honor to share some of your time with you today. It is a privilege to be surrounded by the world's most well-trained sales force in the industry. An honor to be presenting to a group of business owners that offers the greatest one-two punch to combat identity theft and legal issues that exist in the market today. I have had the opportunity to travel North America in the past 12 months on behalf of many of you here today. And Danny Katoa, I said North America. I haven't been invited to Hawaii. All right? That's just my little trying to get to Hawaii. Yeah, you can't blame a guy, right? As many of you know, my passion is teaching, sharing information, and learning. Remember, learning is a lifetime event. The fortune is in the education. Whether it's educating groups, individuals, or prospects, we're all in the business of education. And I believe it all starts with education and knowledge. Everyone here today is in the very unique situation, that of complete job security. Whether it be a bear market or a bull market, a rising economy or a falling economy, identity theft is here to stay, and it will flourish in any market. There is no magic bullet to stop identity theft. Only an individual's decision on how they will limit their losses and exposures. One can only do this with the proper knowledge of the best service to assist them and of knowledge of the problem. Those of you here today have the ability to deliver both. It is your obligation to provide both. Mr. Savola talked to you about that this morning, that he truly believes it's your obligation as business owners within Prepaid Legal to deliver that message. I agree. You have had access to the best training over the past few days. You have chosen to represent the best product on the market, and so therefore it's your duty now to share this with all of North America and even Hawaii. With one voice, one message, the over 10,000 individuals in this building alone could change the landscape of the industry. It is my honor to share in a small part of your journey with you today. Remember, knowledge is worthless unless it's shared. And that's what I'm going to get into, is the sharing of the knowledge and my beliefs and my philosophies in that. Sharing knowledge, I started as a non-traditional student when I was 30 years old, going back to grad school. I sold a business. My wife said, "Oh no, here comes the ramen noodles again." She was right. And what I quickly tried to figure out, as a non-traditional student, I had a head start. I figured out the game. I figured out that there's a way that I could get someone else to pay for my school. Not the government, but corporations. I was in the political science department, and I began to study policy, privacy policy, data security. And just 3 short years ago, I had an opportunity to present for a grant with the National Science Foundation and the Center for Information Protection. Over that research for 3 years came a book that I was honored to be able to release here at the convention last year, The Silent Crime: What You Need to Know About Identity Theft. This year, it's my honor to release a smaller one called The Silent Crime 2, the companion piece to The Silent Crime. What's really exciting about that is that inside the companion piece, it begins with a short letter from me. That's not the exciting part. I then introduce your chairman and CEO and founder, Mr. Harlan Stonecipher, as he writes a letter of the importance of education, knowledge, and your product in the industry. Yeah. It flows from there to my 2008 reflections. And I try to cover in a short couple pages of how I felt personally about 2008. I am very tough on some individuals in here, but I think it's very fair. In the center of this book, you all have forced me to do this for a good reason, I think. There is a page, and hopefully you can see that. This page is meant to be torn out. It's a poster. It's the white boxes. The white boxes are for your information. You put your labels in there. Okay? To the business owners, the HR directors, to the individuals, whoever it is you're leaving this piece with. It's meant to be a tool for you. It starts out by saying, does your employee have an identity theft issue? Does your company offer identity theft services and/or credit monitoring as an employee benefit? If no, then it's a big laundry list of things they need to do to fix the problem or begin to fix the problem, if they can. If yes, it says, if the answer is yes, then all you have to do is contact, and it's got a white box for Kroll's information, because they have your product and your attorney's information. Remember that identity theft, in my opinion, I write it in my books, I write it on my blogs and all the articles I submit. Identity theft is first and foremost a legal issue. That's the power of your product. It goes on to say, many more additional steps may be required to resolve an identity theft problem, or identity theft services can be offered as an employee benefit. For more information, contact, and you put your information in there. This is meant, okay, to be torn out, because only then is the map visible. You with me here? It warns you at the beginning, tear it out, and if you get to the other side, it tells you again. It says, you know, hey, knucklehead, you're supposed to tear that out. All right, not really, but. And I think the most powerful part of this piece is this. We have access now to 3 stories from Kroll of your members and how Kroll assisted them in fixing the problem. Not just 3 minor problems, 3 major problems. You now have access to these three stories as well. It's the first time, but it's going to happen more often in the future. We're going to get more and more stories from Kroll. We'll release more and more stories to you in the back office. We're working on all those things. That's pretty exciting. And the book is then concluded by a letter from Brian Lapidus, the Chief Operating Officer of Kroll Fraud Solutions, and the importance of the relationship between prepaid and Kroll. How many of you were able to come to the sessions yesterday? Anyone get there yesterday? I think it was fantastic, and we're going to continue those sessions in the future. Now, just a quick PowerPoint presentation. We're not going to get into much of the details. I'm just going to give you some highlights of what's going on in the industry. As you all know, the 5 forms of identity theft: the driver's license, Social Security, medical, character and criminal, financial. And what did I add into silent crime? What is it? Synthetic identity theft. Synthetic identity theft is encompassing all of these 5. It affects all 5 of these. Synthetic identity theft is this, just very basic. Okay? For the detail of synthetic identity theft, it's in the silent crime. But basic what it is this. I'm going to begin to steal pieces of information from different individuals. I call it a mosaic phishing. Mosaic phishing is that I'm grabbing small pieces of the puzzle and I'm putting them into the picture frame, right? Like a mosaic picture. And when I'm done, I have you. I have Josh Denny's identity. I truly do, Josh, yes. No, but I said, whoa. All right? And so they're beginning to grab your Social Security number. And maybe John Lott's date of birth. And maybe someone else's address, mother's maiden name. Maybe someone else's full name. They're putting it together. There's 300 million, plus or minus a few, birth certificates in the United States, right? Alive individuals. And what we think with synthetic identity theft is you could have millions in addition in the databases that don't account to those birth certificates. It's a scary new form. Some current statistics. According to a recent Javelin report, the number of victims of identity theft increased 22% in 2008 alone compared to the previous year. In cases where identity fraud was reported, 71% of the incidents occurred in less than 1 week. You see the importance of monitoring and having instant access to the legal system? Up from 33% in 2005. Consumer Sentinel network data book for January through December 2008 showed that for the 9th year in a row, identity theft was the #1 consumer complaint. #1 for 9 years in a row. 10 of those 20 complaints, 10 of the top 20 complaints in those categories, #1, of course, was identity theft. 2, third-party and creditor debt collection. 3, foreign money offers and counterfeit check scams. 4, credit bureaus, information furnishers, and report users. 5, travel vacations and timeshare plans. 6, internet services. 7, healthcare. 8, advanced fee loans and credit protection and repair companies. 9, banks and lenders. 10, telephone services. You see something in common with all of those? Prepaid Legal is the only company that will help you with all of them. 10 of the top 20. If I had room, I could have put 20 of the top 20 in there, and they all would have had the same thing in common. Only with Prepaid Legal and the Life's Event Legal Service and the Identity Theft Shield can you combat these 10. There is no other company out there today that will do it. You're in an awesome position in the market. Now the time I told you I'm going to be a little tough on you, right? A little real. Those of you that were here yesterday at one of my events, I went off on a kind of a rant, right? And here I may again. What's going on as I travel North America is this. Individuals continue to come up to me and ask me the same question. It might be a different company name, but it's the same question. And all I can say is, obviously, you didn't read The Silent Crime. Right? Because the question is this. Mr. McCoy, what about LifeLock? How do we make an argument against LifeLock? What about 911, ID theft watchdog? What do we do about companies like that? How are we going to compete? You have it in your lap right now. You see, you have no competition. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying the applause. Because not enough of you believe that. Mr. Lott was up here earlier, as well as Mr. Self, saying that it's posture. It's how you posture yourself. But yet you still call me at home and email me and catch me on the road and ask me how you're going to compete against these others, you have no competition. Let me explain it this way. This analogy might get through your head. You see, in baseball, there are single-A ball teams, double-A ball teams, triple-A ball teams, right? And then there's the major leagues. You see, the single-A ball team is still a professional baseball team and players, am I right? They're still professionals. The Major League Baseball players, they're professional baseball players. The same industry, right? Do they ever compete against each other? Have you ever seen a single-A ball team go to the World Series against the major leagues? You are the major league ball team in the industry. So start acting like it. Start posturing yourself like it. Go into those meetings like you're the only one in the industry. And you will get the results that you want. And I'll leave you with this. Remember, this has been a great event. You've had days full of education seminars. You'll have our educational and training pieces. You'll have more to come the rest of the day. Your fortune will be in the education. Educating yourself and others. But the knowledge you gain is worthless unless you share it. Thank you very much. Thanks.